It's me, Sean Capri. Welcome to a very special episode, number 107 of We the GamerCast. It's the official podcast of WeTheNerdy.com, but this episode is brought to you by Patreon.com/MakeUsBetter. I'm not going to go into a whole rigmarole here. It's not going to be a big, long chat because I will see you very soon on Monday. This episode, everybody, is a bonus episode, and it's happened because we hit our second milestone on that Patreon there, and it's all because of everybody. But also, it's especially thanks to our executive producers. You know who you are, but in case you forgot, Nick Militia, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Jesse Armstrong, Sheldon Benedict, Locko Schaefer, David Ray, Joey Hare, see you soon, Joey, Mike Drummy, and just 5 seconds ago, Corey Hicks. I don't even know what to say, man. I just tweeted out. It might even be a mistake. That's totally fine. But what you've done, Bobby and I and Toby, we're gonna have a meeting about this. Like, holy crap, dude. Guys, I don't even know what to say. We just hit the $150 mark to make this episode happen, to make bonus episodes happen, bringing back your favorite guests. And you already know who's here. It's Jools Watsham. You love him. He's handsome. He's here. We're going to get to him in just a second. But Corey pushed us all the way to the next milestone. And, like, all we've got up there right now is that we're going to play games drunk together. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Even last night, as I was talking to Jules, I was thinking it would be cool for these bonus episodes to go up live. Usually when I record the stuff that goes up on Mondays, nobody would show up. It's on Sunday morning or Saturday morning. First thing, it's before kind of like the house activates here, as I was saying to Brendan Myers just a couple of seconds ago, who you can see on Monday. Stick around on Monday. It's still going to happen. But these are extra special. Twice a month, you're going to get 2 more episodes. Every Monday's still happening. Don't worry about that. But 2 extras. Your favorite guests are coming back. I know they've wanted to come back. You've made it happen. Everybody at patreon.com/makeusbetter literally makes this better. I'm so grateful. But if you're new, maybe you're here for Jules. If you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with strangers from the internet. We talk about video games and so much more. This show is amazing. If you want to be, if I do say so myself, if you want to be part of the show, please tweet at me at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Guys, we're going to get right into it. There's no need to extend this at all. I'll talk to you on Monday about everything else that's going on. I just want to make sure that you know this is special. I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm energized, rejuvenated, and or maybe that's just, maybe I ate something. Maybe there's something in my stomach. Guys, we're going to get to it. Jools Watsham, you know him, just released Chicken Wiggle, just made a big announcement for the Mudds collection. He's at Jools Watsham on the Twitter. Let's get right into it. Oh, by the way, you can read my review for Chicken Wiggle on WeTheNerdy.com. So, without further ado, here he is, the handsomeness, Jools Watsham!
We haven't started the show yet.
This is pretty much it.
Is it really?
Yeah, but I can cut all that if you want.
Oh, I didn't know. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I didn't know when we were officially starting. No, definitely. I don't want any of that on there.
All right, well, I was pretty surprised. He's talking pretty candid about that.
Oh God, no. Well, I didn't know when we were officially starting.
I apologize. I don't do anything. I just kind of like hit it up and that's.
No, I just thought we were just hanging out.
Yeah. I'm glad I cleared that up because you know what's great, Jules. This is where it's gonna start, and everybody's gonna wonder, what the hell were they talking about? What? Wait a minute.
What did we miss?
This maybe we'll make it like a
juicy,
a Patreon exclusive for $1,000. I don't know what.
Yes, exactly.
That's like nothing. No, man, that's not going out there. What about these Sega? Are you talking about the Sega ports that come to the phone? And it's like they made a big thing of it. It's like Sega Infinity or Sega. I can't even remember. It was like all these games. It was like this concerted effort for Sega to put all of these games on phone.
Yeah, was it? I'm trying to think now. There was kind of a.
Pretty
was
recently.
it Sega? Was it Sega or Capcom? There was definitely a period where. Yeah, there was a bunch of kind of. I'm trying to think if it's. I'm kind of caught between. Was it a Sonic game or was it Mega Man or was it even both? I'm not sure now.
Maybe both.
But there was a bunch of ports that went over to the phones, and maybe even other platforms. I'm not sure, but definitely the phone ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough, because if you're a pixel game enthusiast and then you jump into that, they're breaking all of the rules. They have weird fonts in this place or regular pixel stuff over here. They have this kind of gradiated, pure like Photoshop kind of artwork here on the border outside. Then in the game, it's like old classic 8-bit, kind of pixel stuff. So to me, that hybrid of stuff is like, ugh, it's really gross. I prefer it to all just be a nice, consistent style, painted with one brush, one person, rather than, God, all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. So. But beyond that, the controls and stuff like that, there's just a lot of issues. I didn't get any of them. Why would you play Sonic or Mega Man on the phone? But
I still got burned by, well, not even burned because it didn't really cost me more than my time. But like, I tried it. I'm like, if they're making this big a deal of it, surely this is good. Surely they've somehow conquered the issue of controlling this type of game on a phone, and surely they didn't, Jools. Surely they did not.
They did not. Give an impression that they put a lot of effort into that one.
Okay.
Or those, unfortunately.
Jools,
anyway.
Now that we're in the show, officially,
right.
now that this is actually happening.
Trying to bamboozle me of my secret information at the beginning of the
I would
show.
never...
I've got you now.
I would never do that. You know what? We started this by me doing that, and I'm not going to go back to it. Bobby got upset with me when I was trying to get information out of you. I think we were assuming that you knew something about the NX. I think when we first met.
Oh, the last time I was on here?
I think it was maybe the first time we met back on on Bobby's shows. And I was I was putting words in your mouth like you must have the NX dev kits.
And sadly I didn't. When was that? Must have been last year, right? I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to put the whole timeline together because it would have been about now that we found out about the Switch. And then it was the day before that. There was a Red Dead thing. It was sometime in October, maybe a couple more weeks here.
You're right. It was the end of September, wasn't it, that they announced it?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I want to say
was it early October?
Somebody's going to correct us, or somebody actually memorizes that.
Someone will definitely know.
That
will be emblazoned in their mind. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it was because I remember I went to PAX West last year in 2016 and met with Nintendo, and even then they didn't even tell me anything. So last September. I was still like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
All the rumors were flying. Obviously, they were all true, but we didn't know that.
That it was a hybrid and all that kind of stuff.
But it is funny, and it must be tricky for them, because from their perspective, they know, obviously, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And all these rumors are swirling around. So for them, it's kind of like, they almost, I think, assumed that we know that the rumors are true.
Right.
It's like, unless you told me that, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just rumors. Because there's so many Nintendo rumors. So there's a bajillion rumors around, especially a new console. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. All the different inputs and the mock-ups and all the crazy stuff that people create.
Oh, that screen, remember that oval one? Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I know.
What a great fake that was. It totally had me. I was convinced.
Were you really?
Wow. Well... It could have been real.
I think that's kind of where I was at too. I was like, I don't know, but
there was a patent about it. So they took the patent and recreated it with a freaking 3D printer. Genius.
That's my favorite thing to do is that patent, because I'm on team. I'm just gonna take it right to the toilet here, Jools. I'm on team back roll. I put the paper has to fall behind.
Are you really?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
If I had a cord. Where's the hang up button? Where's the red button?
I get that a lot in life. I just walk up to people.
No, that's a European Splatfest, right? That's not over anywhere else, is it?
Sucks, man. Come on. I wanted that.
Is that true?
Apparently, because we're getting one next week.
Vampire Werewolf. Yeah.
Where are you on that?
Oh, Vampire.
Oh, nice one. I wanted to pull up a picture of Interview with a Vampire. Something real creepy.
Sure.
Although,
but that would actually make sense, because we're in the month of Halloween. But I guess it's not as big over in Europe, so it makes sense that they're not getting
toilet paper makes sense for Halloween too.
It's pretty scary.
Well, you throw it all over the tree and everything.
And you can dress up as a mummy.
Maybe they don't want to give people ideas. You dress up as a mummy.
Yeah, we did a competition for that for Dementia one time. People dress up as a mummy, send your photos in, and win a signed poster or something.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and people were wrapping themselves up with toilet paper.
I heard awesome. I heard an interesting conversation, and I never thought of it this way. I want to know your take on this, Jools. So, okay, let's say the undead are real. You're walking down the street, and this thing is coming at you. You identify it as a zombie.
Oh my gosh!
It's kind of just it's animated
Shuffling
but not
along.
alive. It's kind of like dragging its feet and anything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But then somebody comes around and wraps it in toilet paper.
Oh wow.
What is it then? Is it a mummy or is it still a zombie?
I think it's just a zombie wrapped in toilet paper.
So what if then? Okay, I'll follow the law. I don't know what the right answer is, but I think this is a thought exercise everybody should do.
I think a mummy is connected to Egyptian rituals, right?
Okay, so what if an Egyptian comes around?
Because they take out the guts, they put it in this jar, and they take this out and put it in that jar, and after death, and blah, 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 and blah, blah.
Yeah, the brain comes out the nose and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the body has been prepared a certain specific way to make them a mummy.
So then, what if a mummy's coming at you, and then somebody comes around with a flamethrower, and then burns all the flesh off of it, and then the skeleton is, like, is it a mummy still, or is it a skeleton?
Was it a skeletal mummy? I don't know. I think that's a good question. Yeah, because if it doesn't have the bandages...
I mean, I feel like the mummy is actually the weakest of all of them, just because what is a mummy? You just got your bandages. You're just a dead dude. But so is a zombie.
Have you seen the movie Mummy?
Oh man, yeah, of course. Those were
good stuff.
Those were the days.
It's a pretty horrifying mummy. It's all juicy and has like bugs crawling in its bits and stuff.
But it's so fake.
It's pretty powerful.
But it's so fake. Yeah. Why aren't we better at CGI, Jools? Why isn't CGI better? Like, I hate pretty much all of it.
Yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park came along and went, "Wow, here's the water line, whatever the term is. Here's the milestone. This is what we're shooting for now." Which was, even today, it's still rather impressive.
I totally agree.
I mean, you're like, I love that movie so much. It's one of my top movies. Freaking love that movie so much. Yeah, exactly. So they did it way back when.
Yes.
What year was that? 90s?
Like 97, maybe 93, even. I don't know.
They do move in herds.
How much of the science has changed since then, do you think? Like, have we added feathers to all of these creatures now?
Much.
Like, it's just
they have feathers. They probably ran backwards. Who knows?
Even as a kid, that really bothered me, that people would have the audacity, the program that I'm recording this on, that they would have the audacity to draw
do I need to be recording mine, by the way? Because I haven't.
You're good. You're good.
Okay,
I'm sure it'll be fine. Most people will just read like your lips on the YouTube video, and I can.
Oh yeah, we're doing video, right? This time? Because last time it was audio, right?
Dude, we are moving on up.
So
in the world.
cutting edge.
Isn't this?
This is exciting.
It's all because of Patreon. It's happening. This is your first. That's why you're That's why you're here. Is because of Patreon. We reached a goal, and people wanted to see old guests come back. So I'm like, Jools.
Oh wow. We'll get that
Jools
crusty old guy out here.
Yeah, man. Get him out.
Roll
him
out.
Do you guys do stuff for Halloween at the house? You must go crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, we try and. It's funny because over the years, as the kiddos have got older, it's become it used to be cute and family friendly, and it's getting more and more.
Now they stink.
Now they stink.
Yeah,
exactly. But now it's becoming more scary. Now we're allowed to introduce more scary things, so that's super fun.
I love that.
So yeah. So we actually are behind. We're late on it. We need to get it going because it's the 6th already, and we haven't figured it out.
It's gonna be Christmas before you know it.
I know exactly. So we need to get it going.
I remember I remember one of the first times I went to a legitimate kids Halloween party because at my house my parents would just send us out and hope we didn't get shot in the end of town that I grew up on, and we didn't. Nobody got shot. That was great. Dressed up as the Ninja Turtles, so even if there was trouble, we'd be fully equipped. There was 4 of us and everything. We were all good. And I remember the first Halloween party, man. Like they'd hand out. It would be in the dark, and it totally blew my mind. Every other the kid was way smarter than me. I'm the dumbass in the corner going. They're handing out the little dishes, and there's it's just spaghetti, but they're like, "This is the guts of the winter." I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm touching this. This is nasty.
It's cold and sticky."
Yeah, you hear the eyes, and they're just grapes or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought for sure my imagination was captured.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me actually, my
idiot I am.
I guess it would have been the equivalent of elementary school in the States. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's called primary school back in England. Mm-hmm. They had these, and these are all, everything in England's old. So they had this kind of old kind of building to the side. It just stank naturally, and it was damp, and it was all made out of stone and bricks, and it was gross. But anyway, that was set up as their kind of scary kind of little kind of dungeon. But yeah, they had the tables laid out with just stuff, the eyeballs and the guts. And I remember the place just stank anyway. And I was a young kid looking at this it's so gross, and seeing all the stuff they'd put together. Yeah, it was good.
And there's just a dead body in the corner just cause. But you're like, oh, look at the decorations. That's strange. That
very realistic.
That dude is very dead.
Ugh.
That is.
But yeah,
What do you think it smells like? Like when you see in
Death?
movies, when they get into
Not
a
good.
room and there's a dead body and they're like, oh, that's awful. Are these
Definitely
just?
not good.
Is it just poop?
I don't think so. Like, have you ever smelled a dead animal out in the woods or whatever, like out in the wild?
I play video games most of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like there's that distinct smell, and I don't know. I mean, humans probably smell different, I'd imagine. Thank God I haven't smelled a dead human. Oh my God, I can't even.
Except that one
I
time.
just except that one time, but that one's blocked out.
That's right.
But I have smelled, dead animals, like a rabbit or deer or whatever, and it definitely has a unique smell. It's like, yep, there's a dead animal over there. You're like, messy.
It's probably good that that's unique. It's probably good that that's not like a common thing. Like, oh, I'm not sure if that's a dead body or a blooming
sweet,
flower.
Sweet smell. Like, yeah, is that death or is that roses? I'm not sure. I get them confused. But yeah, I wonder if a body smells similar to that. Maybe some of your listeners will know, and they shouldn't tell us if they do.
Shouldn't. I mean, unless it's been. Is there an amount of time that can pass? The statute of limitations, is that a thing for murder or encountering?
Hopefully not. Hopefully there is not a limitation on that.
You probably should always.
That would be bad.
Yeah. But somebody knew what you did last summer.
Yeah. Yes. If someone, and they still know.
Do you like horror movies?
I do a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I know we did love summer. That's a great. That and Scream, a great cheesy fun.
Oh man! Again, this was a movie that I didn't know was supposed to be funny. I just watched the opening and the whole like the voice and that mask that everybody ended up buying. They still probably buy that mask to this day.
Totally.
And they just like they stab Drew Barrymore in the chest, and it's just in that spot that's just like, oh, that would hurt so bad. And then they hang her up from the tree with her guts hanging out.
I know. What a great beginning. That's what I love about Scream is it's obviously aware, the movie itself is aware that it's a scary movie kind of thing, and all the people in the movie are aware of the fact of that and so on. But it's still very, very cleverly done. Like that is the shtick, that's the gimmick of the thing, but it's done very well. Like the opening of that with, at that time, a hugely popular star killed in the first 30 seconds.
She's all over the posters. She's on the front.
Genius.
Oh my God, I love it.
And that's one of the classics of anything. If you want to make it truly scary, is you start it off with a credible threat. I did a lot of research into this when we were making Dementium. So I was like, how do we make this scary? And you want to open up with a credible threat. Once you present that credible threat, then you can back off and do nothing. Yeah. And that nothingness is terrifying because it could be filled with the credible threats. And that's what's genius about it.
Then phones are scary.
You start off with something like that. You killed Drew Barrymore in that spectacular fashion.
Oh my God.
And then you go back to normal, like, we're at college life. And you're like, oh my gosh, anything could happen. I'm so scared. So good. So good. Yeah, it's brilliant. Love it.
That was my entry into like kind of the 2000s of horror. And it seemed like that was just such a huge jump. And again, when I was a kid, bringing around the grapes, I thought they were eyeballs. I was the last one to get the joke. With Scream, I was the last one to get the joke. I was just full on terrified. I just couldn't handle it. But then I started to just really enjoy it, until Paranormal Activity came out.
Oh, dude, I agree with you.
Chelsea, you can't even say that. You can't even say the name of the movie to her. And because she watched it for some reason, she slept for a week. She'd kill me if she knew that I would say. It's a good thing she doesn't listen. Lights on for a long time. Not
that helps, by the way.
I know, but the ghosts are still there.
Still there.
They can see you better now.
Okay, the lights are on, and they're like, thanks. They're not going to bump into the bed. But yeah, that movie's really good.
I love it.
Because when I watch a movie where it actually affects me, that actually scares me, like for real, that's amazing to me. And that one did that, and I'm like, oh, that could actually be real. Shit.
Oh, you think? Oh, dang it. I just love the found footage thing, and they kind of found a really good way to do that.
It's been long enough for me to kind of be disassociated with it. Totally. But I remember at the time, I was at home alone. I think my wife was out.
That's how I watched it too. Yes.
It was probably pre-kids. And I watched it not knowing what it was. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was late. I was alone in the house.
That's what I did.
This is horrible. It was great.
Yep. Oh, it's good man. Stuff. And I get
it's a good movie.
If you don't bite into it. So there's two endings. I saw, and I mean, this thing is forever. So there was one where she just flies at the screen, like she kills him. Yeah. And then she flies at the screen. I don't know if it was like a director's version or what, but there's an alternate version on the Blu-ray or DVD where because she's possessed, right? Like, and
Yeah.
the spirit doesn't care about her body. So she kills him, and then she walks up really slow up to the camera and just keeps. It's all silent, really quiet, and that's the movie's best thing is the silence and the tension it builds in you.
That's the one I saw. I think
she walks right up to the camera, and then she's holding a knife, and she slits her throat, and then just dies, falls like. Oh, just gives me chills, Jules. Just thinking
I
about
didn't
it.
see that one. Wow, no,
dude, you got it. Like, watch it on YouTube or something
fucked up.
because it's just.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna say the F word.
But then they're like sequels. Well, you can't kill her off. She needs to be in the next one.
I haven't seen the other ones. I've heard they're pretty good.
Not bad, man. I think how do you ever like live up to the original?
It
was so original, and now it becomes so formula. It's like Saw.
See, I'm not into those. That whole torture porn thing.
The first one wasn't torture porn, really, though.
Oh, was it not?
The first one was pretty just mysterious, and it had that great twist at the end. And then it's kind of like the M. Night Shyamalan movies, where you're like, okay, here it comes. Like, I'm just going to wait for the twist to happen. But if you don't know what these guys are up to, the twist comes, and you're like, holy crap,
Yeah.
When are you going to make another scary game? You got all these cutesy chickens and worms and
yeah, no,
there's ghosts everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. There is. I mean, I think that's my subconscious being like, please do something scary and that's cute for a change, please. No, I want to. Yeah, sometime soon. I think it would be good to do something scary. I think something scary on Switch would be nice.
Yeah, man. What do you think that they're gonna tap into a little bit more of the? Is there anything to like walk around with your Switch and do? Like, is that where Pokemon is headed? Is there something that you can be active playing your Switch, or are we still kind of like locked down on this as a console?
Well, the problem with that is just the connection to the internet, you know? That obviously a phone has, like Pokemon Go or whatever. Is that what you mean, or you mean something different?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like Pokemon Go?
I mean, I guess there's part of it, too, that you would almost need a camera attached to it. Because
it doesn't have a camera, which is kind of weird.
You'd think
I'm surprised it doesn't. It's very odd.
Just throw it in for free, Nintendo. Come on.
Yeah.
Like that.
But it's very... I was actually really surprised, because I remember when we first got it, and... What were we thinking about now? I can't remember. But I was like, oh, yeah, where's the camera? And I'm like, oh.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
There's no camera. Why is there no camera?
Uh-huh.
I found that really strange. I mean, I don't really care.
Right.
But I was surprised by it.
It's probably, what do you think, like $25 or $50 cheaper without a camera? Like, is that how that works? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Remember when they first revealed it and nobody was touching the screen and everybody's like, oh my God, is it not going to be a touchscreen? Like, that was a legitimate thing. It seems kind of silly to look back.
Yeah, there was a period, well, because they didn't, even in the official unveiling video, or whatever you call it, which was awful, by the way. Let's not pretend that was a good presentation, anyone.
I thought it was amazing.
Awful. It was terrible.
Hey. Yeah. Chelsea says hi.
Hi, Chelsea.
She says hi.
Hi. Baby sleeping.
We're talking about Halloween and stuff.
Don't mention the movie.
Oh, yeah, I
won't
say the movie.
Don't say it.
Never mind. No, just never mind. You're going to be just for your own benefit. No, gosh.
Trust me. I know. Walk away.
This bonus episode brought to you by patreon.com/makeisbetter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we're not
behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
That
reveal was amazing.
That presentation, it was awful.
The presentation was awful. But
that's what I'm talking about. No, the video was amazing.
Okay.
Oh, the video was
amazing.
We are in agreement. That video that came out was a 3-minute video, I think it was.
Yep.
That was pitch perfect.
Dude, I watched that 100 times, and I showed strangers on the street. I'm like, hey, man, you need to look at it. Like, I downloaded the song.
Yeah, great song.
Oh, that's just perfect.
That is one of the best PR things Nintendo's ever done. Mm-hmm. Such a good video. It's so clever. It's so psychologically on pitch. Yep. It's like, wow, good job.
I kind of wish that they would send out VHS tapes with it on it.
Right, I know, right? Because it's the age of people that everyone wants to be. Mm-hmm. If you're younger than them, you want to be them. If you're older than them, you want to be them. Everyone wants to be them. It was perfect. Very clever.
I never thought of it that way.
Everyone wants to be those people because they're the 20-somethings having fun. Woohoo! Everyone wants to be them. No one doesn't want to be them unless you are them, and you're like, yeah, I'm them. So anyway,
now I'm wondering if I want to be them.
Maybe.
Dude, is that what I want? Is that why I'm drinking this? Is that
what's happening? That's why I love my Switch. I'm hoping I will be Karen on my couch, going over to the rooftop party.
I love that. I remember people making fun of that, and I'm like, I think that I would do that. I would bring my that sounds like a really good idea.
I would totally do that with my friends. But no, that video was amazing. But yeah, the presentation was awful. But and what were we getting onto that? Oh yeah, and I found it really interesting. They didn't mention the touch at all.
I know, brilliant.
In that presentation, and I was like, and I was even thinking, I was asking like, does it have touch or not?
Yeah, and guess what happened? People started wanting it to have touch. Yeah. But if they started with it like all touchy, people would be like, look at the touch screen. Lame. But they kind of went, oh, damn, if this doesn't have touch, I'll be disappointed. And they're like, guess what, guys? Very clever. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they was very smart. Because otherwise you'd be like, oh, it's just an iPad with stuff you can pull off. So what? So it's good that they just walked away from that comparison. Like, no, it's not. So, even though, yes, it is, but no, it's not.
But no. Just relax, everybody.
That's not the emphasis.
It's all going to be fine. When did you finally get a dev kit?
January.
Okay, so they reveal it, and then I feel like maybe you told us you didn't have one, but you would have.
January this year? I don't know.
It's possible. Oh, you know what? I think I talked to you at the very beginning of January, and maybe you were being truthful. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't blame you if you didn't tell me. By the way,
no, they contacted me. I finally got the okay in mid-January, saying, okay, you've been approved. And I was immediately on the website, like, great, we'll get 2 of those, and ordered it immediately. They actually came pretty quick, because we were in pretty quick when it wasn't like the floodgates. And the floodgates still are not open, I don't believe, which is interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Well, there's so many games already, so I feel like maybe they're trying to make sure that they don't get a huge flood, and games are selling.
It's already happening, right? The flood's already
That's the crazy thing. So you just kind of described them approaching you, and it's a little disappointing to me, Jools, to be honest with you. Like I sort of pictured 2 Japanese men showing up at your door, and they say like, we would like to play with you.
With the briefcase.
We would like to play. Yeah, exactly.
Please check out our wares. Yeah, that's what happened. They come in, and it's a really cool black shiny car. It's really neat with the Nintendo logo in red on the side. It's quite a sight to behold.
Yeah, but so it's not like that.
That didn't happen. Oh. Yeah, just an email like, hey, what's up?
And so what are you, like, what is your reaction? Are you jumping up and down? Like, finally this is happening? Or it's just kind of another day in the office?
To be honest, yeah, it was a very mixed emotion. Yeah. It was very, because, I had been contacting. So long? Exactly. It was a very, I'm mentally healthy enough now to look back and talk about the situation.
Yeah, man.
But honestly, it was actually a really tough thing. Mm-hmm. Like early last year, even then when NX was announced either December or January of 2016. Mm-hmm. Like it was announced, maybe December 2015. I don't know.
Yeah, whenever they had like a mobile announcement, they said they're going to make games on phone.
Oh, by the way,
NX.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, so from that moment on, I was like contacting Nintendo because I know how important it is to release a launch game.
Right.
It's so important.
Bomberman.
Shovel Knight. I mean, look at those launch games. I'm not surprised they're saying it sold the most units out of anything. Like, well, yeah, it's sitting there on launch day. Mm-hmm. You got 1 million people who own it. I will need games. I'll buy that, I guess. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to do that. And Mudds came out in January 2012. Even though that was a year after nearly a year after the 3DS came out, it was within the first 3 months of the eShop coming out.
Right.
So it was kind of a second launch for that machine. So anyway, but no, I'd contacted them early last year and really just got no information. Met with them last PAX West in September 2016. Mm-hmm. Still, holding everything very close to their chest, and they're kind of like planning out, who they were going to work with and what was going to be released, and it's tough, and I get it. They're a business and they want to control the release of games and stuff like that. But I never I don't see myself as special or I'm allowed some special kind of treatment or whatever. But at the same token, logically, I try to look at it practically and I have been basically doing exclusive Nintendo content for the last 10 years. That has to mean something, and they're decent games. So, not that they owe me anything, but surely that opens up the door and kind of creates like a trust kind of level or whatever, or something that like, hey, if you give it to me and we do a release, a launch game, it's not going to be some, strange, shovelware or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so then when finally January came around, it's like, boom, you get the email like, yeah, you've been approved. It's kind of like, that's awesome, but it's also disappointing because now I can't do a launch game.
Right. Like,
it's
not even
impossible.
close. Yeah.
Yeah, not even close. So it was like, yay, this is awesome. But then it comes with worry. Okay, now I'm going to work on getting a game onto the Switch. When's it going to come out? Will I miss that window? Because the window, immediately from the day the machine's launched, that window starts closing.
Right.
Of indies being able to release something to actually make a lot of money out of it. Just been the number of titles out there as that increases, the potential exposure for indies gets smaller, unless you get lucky, unless you get marketing, unless you get blah blah blah, which are all things which either cost money or take a considerable amount of luck to pull off. So anyway, just my worry.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's just like, and
meanwhile,
then,
you've got Chicken Wiggle. You know, 70% of the way done, or whatever it was.
Well, and it would have been better to obviously done that as a Switch launch title, or even in a Switch title in August when it came out, instead of 3DS. So
were you too far along to switch to? Not intended.
It was a mixture of things.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't know what it was going to be, too. That was the other thing people don't remember.
We were like, you know what? We're in the middle of development. Switch is out. Great. We have a dev kit now coming. Awesome.
Yep.
In hindsight, yes, we should have stopped 3DS development and moved over to Switch and released it. But, whatever. Now's now and then was then. At that time, we're like, well, but the 3DS has tens of millions of owners out there. Why would I say no to them?
And the Wii U just happened.
And even though the Switch was doing great, yeah, but 3DS has more owners. And surely they're not going to drop, the 3DS like a bad cold immediately. Well, yeah, they did.
Which is crazy to me, too, because I hear that as well. I hear people saying, why would I ever want this on 3DS? I want to play this on Switch. And it's like, the numbers don't add up to me. Like, the numbers don't... What are they? Are they at 6 million Switches now? And they're like...
I don't know.
I don't even know if they hit that high. And that's kind of like a little bit of hyperbole for the point, which is still... Not everybody who owns a 3DS has dropped it for the Switch, even if you own both. So I just didn't really understand like the dynamic that was happening. But we're even seeing, I don't know if there's anything official out there, but Metroid 2 not doing so hot. Like I don't know
what the US numbers are.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like the Japanese numbers. I mean, having done some research and looked at that, and obviously, I had pulled out the Japanese Metroid sales as an example of the 3DS not being great, and then people were very quick to point out that for the Japanese market those numbers are actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
They didn't say it as politely as I just did though, but as the Twitter is.
Yep.
So for Japan actually those numbers are actually not bad.
Okay.
Not great, but not bad.
But I think it illustrates basically the same decision making that you did. Like if anything, it sort of reinforces the choice that you made or the choice that you were faced in January, where you don't know how successful Switch is going to be. You don't know what people are going to choose by the time Chicken Wiggle comes out. Same with Nintendo. They, more than anybody, could have switched over to, and I keep saying the word, but there it is. So I think that it's just a matter of things that were underway, and they were very conservative about what Switch is going to, how is this going to turn out?
Yeah, and they have to play both sides. You have to keep the 3DS market going, while trying to grow this new Switch market. You can't just, switch overnight, because it may just be disastrous. You may have a Wii U all over again and be like, oh, shoot.
Now we're real dead.
We just turned away, tens of millions of people for a lot smaller. Fortunately, it's working out well for them. But yeah, you have things like Metroid, and you have even the Pikmin game, you have the new Mario and Luigi.
These are
Monster Hunter Stories.
Pillars.
I mean, you have some. Yeah, you have Ever Oasis. A bunch of
looking
things.
at your stack of games.
I know. I was like, what did they get up there?
Yeah.
But anyway, so a bunch of kind of pretty big hitters, really, and I think there's a few more coming.
So I don't know if that helps. Like, I don't know if, like, because I know that there's been a lot of reflection after Chicken Wiggle. I certainly thought this was going to be huge, and I know that I'm hoping that there's more to come. I was saying to you when it launched, I want an amiibo. I want merchandise. I want everything. I want this thing to be enormous, and
Right.
I hope that there's more life for Chicken Wiggle. Hopefully there's a little quiet period. Maybe there's stuff happening behind the scenes.
I hope so. Yeah, no, I hope so. It's Yeah, we just, I mean, the next steps we're going to take are definitely going to be careful, you know. I mean, Super Challenge didn't sell particularly well. Chicken Wiggle sold even worse, so, if that was even possible. And so now, like, all right. And that's actually, I am an optimistic person. I try to learn from events, whether they be mistakes I make or just shit that happens. So for this, it's been a good slap in the face, you know. To kind of be like, all right, I need to be careful. Yeah. I need to not only make games that I want to make and things that I think are cool, but I need to try and make things that I think other people are going to like, and they're going to, drop their hard-earned cash to buy as well. And I've always actually had that train of thought, but, I think when I look at it, I'm like, well, shoot, we've done a bunch of pixel stuff over the last couple of years, and that's great, and I love it. But it's like, and Chicken Wiggle was another one, and it was just bad timing, I think, obviously, with everything. Amongst other things, amongst the name, amongst the logo, amongst a lot of things. Well, I mean, just potentially to some people, it's not as far-reaching as something else could have been. Some people are just like, well, it's just silly, or it's cheesy. So it's like, whatever.
I mean, you can only do that afterwards. I feel like, what the hell is Shovel Knight? Like, what is anything? Like, what is Shantae?
Yeah, exactly. It is funny,
and it's not to be disparaging against any of those things. It's just if nothing, it's the same. It's just all.
Banjo-Kazooie is the worst name ever.
Exactly, like it's
a terrible name.
Yeah.
How do you even spell that?
Nobody knows.
Ukulele isn't that much better, as far as a name. But Banjo-Kazooie, it's a fantastic game on a fantastic machine at a fantastic time. Awesome. So it makes Banjo-Kazooie seem like a great name.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not. It's a terrible name. It's a great game. So I think people are very quick to come out. And obviously I've had a freaking ton of backseat drivers come out and kind of give their opinion on what happened with Chicken Wiggle. Some are right in the money, and some they're just being idiots, to be quite honest.
Yeah, just name them one by one.
Right? I'll send you that. Hang on, let me get the list. Let's put it right through.
How is that? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about this too, because this was an interesting thing for me to get the Chicken Wiggle code from you. Go ahead and play the game. I obviously enjoyed it, but then review it, put it in words, and even just reviewing. I feel like any art form and even critiquing on art is difficult. It's hard to translate what your experience, or I'm imagining for yourself, creating a game and having the vision translate into the actual game is difficult. And it's also hard for, I think, for critics to specifically say exactly what they experience with the game and then make sure that that's interpreted by the audience correctly. That these are all the things that go through my mind. And it was amplified when I have a friend who made the game and will read the review, and I'm like, I still think that I was fair, but on your side, like, you're friends with many people who are offering opinions on the internet, and so when those reviews start coming back, and most of them positive, but none of them are, this is the perfect game. What is that like for you to have personal relationships, maybe even to a further level than what a lot of developers have with personalities on the internet, and then to see the opinions come out? What is that experience like for you?
I think it's exactly what you think it would be.
Yeah, shitty.
It's not easy. Fortunately, with Chicken Wiggle, and that Chicken Wiggle has probably been the most consistent response to, I think, most of our games. Like with Mudds, Dementium, Zia Drifter, there've been people who loved it.
Yep.
9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Then there've been people who hated it.
Yeah. Well, the challenge divides
2 out of 10,
them,
whatever.
doesn't it? Is it the challenge, you think?
Or, I mean, even more than that. I mean, sometimes like, this is just a terrible game. I mean, it's difficult and it's terrible. It's designed terribly. The artwork's terrible. The music's terrible. Everything's terrible. This is so cheap and phoned in. It's just amazing. So quite polarizing, a lot of our games. And I think as long as you get the 9s and 10s, I can take the 2s and 3s.
Right.
If they're all 2s and 3s, then well, shit, what happened?
Yeah.
But with Chicken Wiggle, it was basically everyone was kind of in that 8 range, 8, 8.5, 9, maybe 7.5, kind of. It's basically 8, I think, was the average. but it was very consistent. There's kind of very much a narrow range of numbers and opinion there. And I was like, huh. So to me, that was great. I was like, okay, this is not getting people like really like losing their beans over it, but everyone's like, this is a good game. Some people are like, yeah, it's great. Some people are like, oh, it's okay. But no one's like saying it's terrible. And no one's saying, oh my God, this is perfect. Yeah. It was just in that kind of, this is a good kind of range. And like, that's cool. Because it's a quirky game. The single player campaign is very simple and understated, but it throws a lot of variety at you over a quick amount of time. So to me, I don't compare that to Mudds. It's a completely different experience. Mudds is a much more grand adventure.
That doesn't keep people from bringing it up in the reviews, though. Surely, bringing up this game that doesn't relate to this, other than the fact that it was made by the same guy. Every Chicken Wiggle review out there would refer back to one of the other games. Surely.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So do you have you kind of mentioned like mostly 8s, mostly 8 point, like very good in that range. Is there an idea in your brain when you put it out, you go, I think this is a 9, I think this is a 10, or I think this is a, because I've often heard developers, they know when they would like to continue to work on things, they've missed something, there's nothing that they haven't quite tweaked or tuned the way that they were polished the way that they want to. Like you're pretty you wouldn't have released it if you weren't ready to release it. I mean, it's not that.
Yeah, no, and I'm pretty objective as well. Like exactly like you were just saying, I know what it's lacking. Yeah. I mean, no game's finished. Every game could be better. It could have more in it. So you just have to just freaking decide. All right, let's go. Let's stop. Let's wrap it up and get it out. We could be working on this forever. And obviously, we can't do that practically. So, but no, I with Chicken Wiggle, I felt like it was a bit more complicated because I had the single player game and then it had the editor and it had the online stuff. So I was like, it depends on how you look at this from the reviewer's perspective of, do I care about the online stuff and the level stuff? Like, do I freaking love that stuff? Or do I I don't really care about the stuff? And it's going to be completely affect their review. So it's like, wow, and that's such a significant aspect of the game. I mean, you could argue that it's at least half the game, if not more, depending on who you are. So so it's complicated, I think, for people to kind of look at and kind of judge, because it's not just a game; it has a weird kind of tool editor in there as well. Anyway, so no, I felt like it was going to be 8 or 9. I felt like this is good. Yep. I mean, for me, I felt like we spent 16 months working on it. So it was a significant amount of time for us to work on the game. To us, that's a very long amount of time. Like for example, Zero Drifter, we made that in 6 months. But it was insane. We worked way too many hours, and I wouldn't want to repeat that work life again. Yeah, it was crazy.
Chicken Wiggle was different.
Yeah, it was more of a steady pace and a long time, and I allowed it to increase in scope and balloon a little bit and become a bit more extravagant, because my thinking was, if we really fully realize this and make it very special, then it may have a multiplying effect on how people receive it, enjoy it, talk about it, and hopefully magnify people's enjoyment and therefore sales. Didn't take into account the 3DS indie market would be dead. So that's a bummer. But
so do you read into that maybe too much or at all? Do you do you recognize that the process was better for you? Do you think that the game ended up better because of it? Or do you look almost purely at the sales or more heavily at the sales and go, that didn't really work out, I don't want to repeat that? Like, how much do you rinse and repeat, and how much do you start fresh with a new, different approach for whatever is next?
Yeah. It's hard not to have regrets when you have a negative response to something you've done, and you second guess yourself, because especially when you have a very concrete junction where you made a decision that made it what it was. So for me, it is especially difficult because the original concept for this game was, hey, let's do a 2D Pushmo. Pushmo's super fun. Let's just do like that, where you just draw this very simple little level. It's more of an art. You're really drawing a pretty picture. You start down here, the goal is up there, go. So really people are just drawing, penises or Marios or whatever. They're just drawing silly pictures, and they're generating a QR code, and you're sharing, and then when you're done, and so it becomes an artistic statement as well as kind of a game design statement. It's just a cute little toy, and you probably sell it for $5-7. It's just a much different. So that's what the original concept was. It was a much smaller, simpler game.
Right.
So anyway, without going too much into it, I can't help but be like, you know what? If we'd have done that, it'd get done quicker.
It would have been out.
It would have been out sooner when the 3DS actually had a decent market. Even though it was way cheaper, probably half the price, it would have probably sold way more than it did. So I'm like, but I also can see that this is a unique circumstance. The 3DS market, I didn't foresee it nosediving as fast as it did. So there you go. I mean, it's just.
So how long are you gonna let Nintendo just like beat you around, man? Like, when do you? I think I asked you this before, actually. Like, when do you? So they don't give you dev kit. They don't give you store space, and I don't want to build like too much of a case. If we feel free to like grab one of your toys and we can redirect if you want. But when. Like, how is your relationship with these guys? I don't know. I think the last time I was asking a question like this, like, look at this. I think we're talking about Shantae. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, it's got to be. I guess I don't know what the question is exactly. Just like it's just got to be frustrating that like the loyalty to Nintendo is there, the results maybe aren't there. Come over to Xbox, man.
I think what it is, and by the way, I love Xbox. I love Sony. I love the App Store. I'm not, even though I do love Nintendo, and I've really enjoyed working with them as a lead platform for over 10 years. I still love the other platforms. I really do. I mean, I love the Xbox 360. It was a fantastic machine.
Yep.
And I think the Xbox One is great. I don't have a PS4. I do have an Xbox One, and I like it. The interface, freaking nightmare. Like the home menu is a disaster. Like
do you have the new one?
Awesome.
They updated it. It's a little better. Well, I think maybe it hasn't come out yet for everybody. If you're on the insiders, you get it. It's a little better. It's closer to 360.
Yeah, because 360 was great. Simple. Loved it. Xbox One. I don't use it that much. My kids might use it more. But I'm always like,
where's my achievements? I want my achievements.
How do I just get to the basic things? The design is stupid. But I love the Xbox. I think the Xbox One's great. We even got a special one. We got a Halo edition. It makes this awesome noise when you turn it on and off, and it comes with an awesome controller.
Just the man's choir that every time you open it, they sing the man choir song.
No, that'd be awesome. That's some crazy I think it's like that weird sword noise or something.
Oh, that's quicker.
But anyway, where was I going?
Is there a path that doesn't involve Nintendo?
This has been a good wake-up call, though,
for
me, where it's good for me to kind of see things for what they are. And at the end of the day, these hardware manufacturers, this is their business. And they do what's best for them. And that's it.
Yeah.
And really beyond that is just pure luck. If they happen to want to embrace someone or a group of someone's and promote them, then that's pure luck, and that's pure like a special, awesome opportunity. I need to look at it as, okay, these guys are all equal players. They basically care about themselves first,
right? Because
it's a business. It's not a selfish thing. It's just a business thing. It's a self-preservation thing. Just like I have to look out for my builds as well. And if I'm able to get in with any of these guys and they promote my stuff, that's awesome. That's a bonus. That's awesome. So I shouldn't rely on that. I shouldn't get upset if that doesn't happen, even though I do, because I have emotions. I'm a person, and I'm not like some cold
robot
rock on the ground.
This is where you pull off your robot arm
perspective.
And show me what's really going on.
And see if what it is. It's been healthy,
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, all right,
good for you.
It's a good business decision to get something on the Switch right now because it's the hotness. It is the current hotness.
That's what I hear.
But I need to be thinking about beyond that. Sony are great. We've worked with them on PS4 and Vita. It's been a pleasant experience. They're good people. We were lucky enough to be one of the what do you call it, PSN Plus with Zeo Drifter when that came out, which was fantastic. And I've done a PS blog post with them. Was that Zeo Drifter or something else? Probably Zeo Drifter. Maybe Mudds. I don't know. I can't remember now. But something like that. So that was really great. Shu, is a fan of Mudds. He's tweeted out pictures of him playing Mudds on Vita on his airplane over to Japan and playing with his daughters and stuff. And
that's huge,
dude.
But do you think Sony's moved away from that a little bit? Like, is Nintendo kind of eating their lunch on that, on the indie side?
I mean, I think, because indies are good at the beginning when you want to fill the library with a nice, rich, variety.
So what if Nintendo becomes the hot girl in school, and then she goes, "Nope, I don't want the indies anymore," and you're like, "Oh, that was Chicken Wiggle 2!"
No, it's going to happen. I mean, and for me, I just know that there's this window, and it's fast. It's closing fast. So I need to get out there with my wares.
Would you like to see my wares?
I want to see my wares.
Okay, well, I don't want to dwell too much on whether or not you're going to ditch Nintendo for another lover.
Everyone's kind of clicking fast forward on this. Like, when are they going to end this depressing conversation?
Well, what about? I don't know if this is going to necessarily get us out of there, but
let's dive deeper.
I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. This is why I asked the question. Is it indie forever for you? Is this so I look at, there's do you jump ship to another platform? Or am I damn them? Can you ever go back to working for the man? Do you ever start go back to a big organization? Do you team back up? Or is there something that you've left behind that you could return to as I don't know if it's a safety net or just something to come back? Or is this the path? Is it too
It really depends on the outcome.
Yeah.
For me, if I have a choice, being independent is fantastic.
Yeah.
Not dealing with some other idiot telling me what to do is fantastic.
Yeah.
I've done that for a long time, and it's frustrating, and it's maddening, honestly. It makes you feel like you're going mad. I mean, at Acclaim for the longest time, I'd be presenting these ideas, and not even just game ideas, because ideas are cheap, but I mean ideas on how to make games, the production. Instead of saying, "Hey, let's do this game," I guess back then it was PS2, Xbox.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Hey, we're going to make this multi-platform game on these platforms, it's going to cost $10 million and it's going to take 3 years. Go."
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's crazy. What about we just spend 3 months prototyping, and you guys go, "Yeah, this is great," or "No, this is..." And this sounds so kindergarten right now. Me saying this is so obvious.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, "Yeah, duh." They were like, "No, that's crazy talk." I'm like, "No, we need to do these short little things, and then we kill it.
Yeah.
If it's not great, we kill it. I mean, if we do a few of those, we're going to save so much money in the long run, because these are going to take a couple $100,000 each to do one of these. Nothing really, because the studio overhead was so expensive and so many people. But you have a team of 3 or 4 people just doing this for a couple of months, boom, 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 until everyone's like,
"Oh,
that's it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's spend $10 million and make it this good," rather than, "Good luck. See you in a couple of years." What are you talking about? That's not going to work. And that's when Vex came along. That's when Turok Evolution came along. Not saying they're bad games, but they could have been so much better.
Right.
If they were, whatever. Anyway, so I felt like I was going crazy. I was presenting these thoughts on how to be a better business, how to make better games for the players, how to respect the game. The game's the most important thing here. How do we do this the best possible?
Yeah.
And we prototype it until we find something that everyone's like, "This is amazing," and then we go. We don't just go, "We're going to do this concert because we think it's pretty cool, go," and then change and flip-flop and waste loads of money and end up with some mess at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So, which obviously happens lots of times with Acclaim. So anyway, but yeah, it makes you
It worked out really well for them.
Yeah, it really did. It worked out really well for them.
Yeah, doing really well.
So when I finally left, it felt amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So being indie is
so
incredible.
Going back is a bit of a.
I wouldn't say no. I mean, for me, it would be more of a backup. I like to be indie.
Yep.
I want to release games that make enough money where I can have the luxury to actually make. This is the weird thing that probably most people don't realize, is I still haven't made, to me, in my mind, I still haven't made a proper game. All of these games that I've made are under strict budget, time, or something, or resource constraints.
Right.
It's making the best of the situation. This is what we've got, so let's make that work, And that's what all of the games have been over the last 10 years. All of those games have been. I would say Dementium 2 was the closest to, whoa, we have a decent budget here. We can actually get a team behind this and make a great game. Whoa. Domentium 2 was the closest we got to that, because the budget was $500,000, which at the time was like, oh, even now
$1 trillion. No kidding. What would you add to the team if you had? So I'm guessing like people and overhead or space, big costs in terms of development. What do you add if you won the lottery? You got a whole bunch, or some money came in for somehow. Maybe Chicken Wiggle just all of a sudden makes its way to the front page.
Collection.
Everybody remembers that they have a 3DS, yes. And I want to get to that too. I want to know how that came about in terms of the partnership or promotion with IGN as well. If you had a bunch of money, something does really well. What do you add first? How does the team grow from you and Matt?
If money wasn't an issue, or at least we had a good chunk of change to like, all right, we could do something with some balls on it now.
Yeah.
Let's take the gloves off. Let's make something
tickle them.
where we're not actually just making things work. For me, I'm very analytical. I like to look at the market. I like to see what's out there. I don't like to be a Me Too player. I like to be like, okay, what isn't out there, which I think people will like.
Yep.
Hence Domentium. That's where Domentium came from. That's where Mudds came from, even though it's like, well, it's just a derivative 2D platformer. But at that time on the 3DS, Mudds was new and fresh.
Right.
And Domentium, at that time, on that platform, Domentium was new and fresh. So I like to look at things like that where there's data to back up people like this genre.
Right.
But this market doesn't have it yet, so let's do that. Anyway, so I like to look at it from that perspective. So to say what type of game it would be, I don't know, but
you should make something on the 3DS that lets you build levels, and because that wasn't there, it wasn't there. You could share them online. That's right.
Mario Kart, Mario Maker on the 3DS, you can't share it online.
God, the punches to the solar plexus.
If we add that, everyone would be like, "Oh, thank you guys for doing what Nintendo didn't do."
Yeah, totally.
We will throw money at your face.
Yep.
Because that's great.
I want to ask about this collection, Jools. Maybe we can get a little brighter here.
But I would like to do a third person platform.
Oh,
I've wanted to do one of those for years.
Wait, like a 3D? Wait a minute.
That's how Mudds died. Mudds was a 3D platform on the DS called Maximilian and the Rise of the Mutant Mudds.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. So I would not that I would do that necessarily, but I've always wanted to do a 3D.
Do you need to start a new company for that? Is that an Etui thing that can happen? Seems a little off-brand, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's totally nonsense.
Our
totally
brand is just games.
Good. That's a good brand. When did the Mudds challenge happen? When did this brainchild come up and you go, you know what? Is that what you started working on immediately with the dev kit? Back in January, you get the Switch dev kit, and you go, Mudds is going on.
Collection?
Yeah.
You said Mud Challenge. It's Mud.
Did I say challenge? Collection. I said collection at least one time in there. Check the tape.
5 minutes ago. We'll revert. Let's wait for the wine.
You know, I expect that kind of shit from Bobby.
I know. No. He's terrible, man. He doesn't let anything go. Cracks me up. I love it. I saw his stream the other day with his wife. I'm like, oh my god, this is great.
I got some sound clips from that. They're sitting on my desktop that won't go up. If anybody else wants to check it out, there's some gold on there. But
that was actually quite enjoyable.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Great job. Hey, you know what? Maybe you want to get Overcooked. I want to play that with the family.
I just picked it up on Xbox. It was like $5.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Deals with gold.
But the collection, the plan was always to do something muddy with the engine on the Switch, because what's nice about that, from a practical perspective, is to get our engine from 3DS or whatever onto the Switch. Like, let's have something that's not a moving target. Let's get something that we know what it is. Let's get it on the Switch, so we're not wrestling with new unknown risk.
Everything's new.
Blah-blahs.
Right.
Let's just do that on there now. So then it's a very black and white task. So like, yeah, great. But just putting Mudds on there, I mean, that's fine. But is anyone really? It's not exciting. It's like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I for me, I'm like, I need to try and make it appealing and as enticing as possible. And let's face it, Mudds is 5 years old. I mean, it's had a good run. You know, it's done quite well for its age. But then we have Super Challenge, you know, and then so we're like, I wonder if we could do a combo of the two of them. And I love, I'm looking because I have the Wii version over there. But the Mario All Stars that came out on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yes, of course.
That was great. And then the Wii one. Oh yeah, yes, I have that box. Right,
that's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, that box right there.
Yeah,
there
it's in the same.
That's the one.
Are you sure it's in your room? I can just pass it to you.
That's mine.
Yeah.
You took it. So obviously you can see it has the gold kind of Cannes Festival on the side right there.
Yep.
I obviously stole that for Mudds collection.
Good.
Because I like that sense of award and legacy and history. I like that what emotions that conjures in the mind when you see that. It gives you lots of things, and the symbolism is very important in our society for communicating things like that.
Yep.
Like the American flag, it means a lot when you see that. You know, it's just a flag, but when you see it, it says a lot. Especially when you put it in context, and you can say even more. So anyway,
not even touching it.
No,
I don't know what.
Let's not.
Yep.
Let's not.
You're right. It means a lot.
It does mean a lot. Just think Braveheart. Let's go back to Braveheart.
All right. Yep. Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
You're comparing the American flag to Mel Gibson. Yep, that happened. That's what you get for that challenge shit.
With Scottish people raising swords above
That's
their
right.
heads.
That's right.
Anyway, that made no sense. So anyways, I've always liked that. So yeah, so we're like, okay, we could make a collection. How do we do this? So yeah, we chatted about this for a long time.
Yeah.
To figure out what earth do we put in there. We have Mudds, we have Super Challenge. You know, technically, you know, we have Mud Masher.
Yep.
You know, that we released on the phone. You know, do we make a new game? What do we do? And yeah, so it was kind of, and there was even the question of, well, can we even do that? And I was like to Matthew, can we put both games? Like, how do we do that? You know, how do you get two games in one game and play nicely together? How do you even do that? You know, fortunately, he is a big brain and he knows how to handle.
That was the answer. Somebody needs a big brain, and then it just happens.
Like, dude, I've got a big brain. I'm like, you got it.
Right, I forgot for a moment.
That's right.
Yeah,
brain power. And we always the original concept's always way bigger than we could possibly do. We always start really massive and go, okay, well now back to reality.
Right.
What can we actually do in the time? So in the end, we're like, you know what? But we wanted to make it really as sexy as possible. So in the end, we're like, yeah, Mudds, Super Challenge, and then we had. I'm not even going to mention it because I want people to get hyped or excited or sad over this. But we had one idea which was really small. It was a really small kind of homage to an old NES game that we were going to do in a muddy style.
Ooh.
Like, oh, that'd be cute. And that's what it was for a while. It was like those modern Super Challenge and this weird little homage thing, which was going to be fast and cheap and not that exciting, but it would have been cute. And we're like that, and that's what it was going to be for the longest time. And then I was like, ooh, we got one monkey. One monkey's really neat. I liked one monkey, and no one bought it on their 3DS. So, you know, we could like have this whole new audience, and we've got 2-player joypads, and like we can do tape mode as well, and oh my gosh, and we could do online leaderboards, and then it suddenly, for me, it really just opened up. Like, oh my gosh, and then we could reskin it with mud artwork, which is hilarious. Like that's so dumb to do that, but that's so cool.
It's so perfect.
It's just like let's reskin it with muddy artwork. So there's little Max up there, and little Granny on 2-player, like throwing stuff down, make them water bombs instead, make the little blocks like little mud faces, and it really came together.
Yeah,
it was like, because the thing that really amazed me was how well the blocks turned out. Because I was like, all right, I need to do a bunch of multicolored blocks, and at first they were just the same face on each one of them. They were just different colors. And funnily enough, my reason for wanting to change the faces was for people who are colorblind. You know, it's nice to have a unique design. So even if you're colorblind, you can still play the game. And that's something we faced with Bomb Monkey. Even though Bomb Monkey is really subtle. I mean, the difference between the faces is really subtle, so I don't think we pulled it off particularly well, but whatever.
You thought of it.
Yeah,
thought
the idea was there.
Yep.
The thought was there. So then I was like, okay, I wonder if I could take the different enemies and put them on there. Is that going to look just dumb? Like, in concept, I don't know if that's going to work. So I started doing it, and I'm like, oh my god, I can totally tell that's
so
that enemy.
Good. Yeah.
Hilarious. So it really actually came together quickly, easily, and awesomely. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it when that happens. Like, oh my god, that's great. So it came together, you know, and it really did. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then Troop did the music, and you hear a snippet of it in the trailer, which is fantastic. That little snippet of music is, so good. His music really does improve everything I do. I'm like, that's so good, dude. Amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, so it all came together, and I'm super happy about it. You know, I mean, I think the 3 games you've got Mudds.
That's the thing that everybody recognizes. Is that's the benefit, right? Is that's the game everybody knows. You got Challenge, which some people know, most people may not, and you got this Brent, and it's balls hard. Yep. And then you got this new thing, like brand new.
You got this puzzle game, which is multiplayer.
It's so cool,
player,
man.
Like different modes. It's quite a nice package.
Yeah.
You know, you got single player games, you got multiplayer games, you got a really tough game, you got an approachable platformer and a not approachable platformer.
Yep.
Take your pick. You know, you can train up to that one. It's right next to it on the menu, so it's a nice package.
It's practically the orange box for Switch. It's practically Half-Life. Yeah, Portal.
Half-Life 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Half-Life 3. It's practically
I got you. I wasn't gonna
Thank you.
grill you on it.
Yes.
So IGN happens though. Like that's kind of a big deal. That's not really something that happened with Chicken Wiggle. You didn't really get this big push. How did that come to be? Whose balls are being tickled?
Lots of balls. Going. Yeah, and that's an example of trying to learning from Chicken Wiggle. You know, I was convinced that the hype was out there for Chicken Wiggle.
Yeah.
Like obviously I was clearly wrong, or something went wrong. But on my little Twitterverse, Chicken Wiggle was everywhere leading up to the release of the game. You know, and I had amazing Twitter accounts. You know, I'm not even going to mention them because I'll forget one and feel bad.
Yep.
But there's some amazing accounts, Nintendo dedicated news accounts, which are all great people running all of them. They have tens of thousands of followers on all of their accounts. They're amazing. And they were very gracious, you know, to kind of work with us and promote it. And I was like, oh, this is great. We're getting, you know, the word out on Chicken Wiggle to all these people. But when it came to release day, that didn't mean anything. Like it didn't sell. So I'm like, what the heck?
Did somebody forget to like carry a 1, or like they moved the decimal in the wrong place or something?
I'm still holding hope for that.
Like maybe something awful happened, and then all of a sudden you can get your analyst. You get that windfall of money.
It's not going to happen. But
IGN happens.
But then, so that was really quite a wake-up call that apparently no one knew Chicken Wiggle had come out. And I was like, wow, I was completely convinced that everyone knew. Yeah. That's weird. At least in the Nintendo community.
Yeah, so how do I make sure that everybody does know? How do I not make that? So I was
like, and you know, and I really like working, and there's a number, again, I'm not going to mention any names because it just gets awkward, but there's a number of really great Nintendo dedicated sites that I love working with. They're great people. They have a great following. I've worked with them closely in the past, and I hope to continue working with them closely in the future. And that has been my channel to kind of get stuff out. Clearly, that didn't work with Chicken Wiggle. Yeah. You know, so I'm like, all right, I need to try something different here. I really need to do something to try and get the word out to a larger audience. So when it came to, you know, I told you about, you know, Mudds collection a while ago. We were working on this for a while, and I didn't know when to really announce it. But now we're getting really close to finally submitting the game to Nintendo for their approval, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I was like, all right, I think it's time to kind of at least announce that we have it coming out. And so how did that go? I reached out to one of the top dudes over there. Again, I'm going to avoid mentioning names to avoid people being mean. But I reached out to one of the top dudes over there that I've known actually for a very long time. And as with you, as with I think everyone in the kind of press space that's you know that category, or you know whatever. Yeah. Pretty much everyone that I know and have worked with are all very professional. You know, they're like, yeah, we may be good friends, but that doesn't mean I'm going to like your game. Right. You know, that's understood. You know, and I don't, you know, I don't expect anyone to like my game just because they like me or I like them. You know, and that's an understood thing. So even though I reach out to someone and I've known them for a long time, that doesn't mean they're going to say yes. Yeah. They don't owe me anything.
But at least you can ask.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of times because we know each other very well, they're specifically probably going to be even more critical on like, do I want to work with them? I don't want it to seem like favoritism.
Yeah.
So they've been more critical on looking on what the situation is, which actually is a weird thing that happened with Zero Drifter review on IGN, which we can talk about at some point.
Oh.
But so I reached out to someone there, and then they forwarded me on to one of the guys that does the new stuff over there. And we had a few different ideas. Now I just came to them very honest. I was like, look, Chicken Wing was a complete fucking failure. So I really want to try and get the word out about, Mudds collection. Please, can we work together? That'd be great. I mean, really just a sad kind of like message, unfortunately, but that was just being honest, I didn't want to come in there and go, hey, but this is the situation, if I could work with you guys, it'd be really great. If not, no worries, I understand.
Totally.
And I had all these different ideas, they have all these different shows. I was like, I'll even fly out to the studio and with it in my hand. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Let's get this
map. When is that happening?
I probably will, actually. I probably will.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so, that hasn't been cemented, but I'm open to doing that.
All right, confirmed today. Yes, happening, 100%.
Yes, exactly. So when the game closer to launch, I'll try and do something
good for you.
that anyway. Because that's what we used to do back in the day in the early kind of DS games, is we'd do a press tour. We'd go to San Francisco, and we'd knock on everyone's door, or we'd make appointments ahead of time and meet up with them, GameSpot and IGN, all those guys, anyway. So,
totally.
Then we orchestrated it. So we had a lot of different ideas, and I made up this really nice kind of a 3-page kind of fact sheet on the game. Had lots of like nice little pictures, and just gives you a complete information dump on what Mudds collection is. So I sent that to them, and I didn't have the trailer finished or approved at that time, and they were like, "Yeah, great, we can pimp it out early next week before Comic-Con kicks off." I was like, oh, shoot, now I need to get the... Actually, I didn't even have the trailer at that point. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, that's a deadline. All right.
Yeah. I was like, oh, my gosh, let's go. So that was stressful. And then I had to get approved by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So that could take days, Anyway, so that was fun. So over the weekend, prior to the thingy, I was finishing that up, and I sent it to Nintendo on Monday. The reveal happened on Wednesday. On Monday, I sent the trailer to Nintendo, not knowing how long it was going to take for them to review or approve.
Oh no!
They did have some feedback.
Did you
but
sleep?
Very, very small. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was very stressful. But I was like, I need to make this work. This is a unique opportunity. And as I've got older and gone over, stayed in the space for a long time, done a lot of things, you for me, apparently it's been slower than maybe it should have been. You start to realize when these special things do happen, that may be the only time or the last time that happens. You can't count on that. You can't assume that's going to happen again, because anything can happen between now and when you want it to happen again.
That's right.
So I was like, all right, these guys are actually willing to play ball here. They actually seem to give a shit about the game. Awesome. They actually want to promote it, at least kind of, because I was like, hey, we'll do the exclusive reveal. Like, yeah, it'd be great. And they actually seem genuinely like, oh, this is great. Yeah, this is exciting. We'd love to promote it. Awesome. Not promote it, but, they'd love to share it.
Totally.
Not promoting it, but they'd love to reveal the game. And I'm like, sweet. But yeah, I got approved, thankfully. And that was another nightmare, because the Nintendo system, has it where you can upload the video through a certain website, and then they kind of review it and send you feedback through that. But that system, for some reason, wasn't set up for Switch stuff. I couldn't do it. I couldn't physically do it. And I emailed them, and I'm like, I can't do what I need to do. Here's the Dropbox links to the video. Can you please just look at it and tell me? Let's do it the old-fashioned way, because I don't know what's
the old-fashioned way. Dropbox is the old-fashioned way.
Right, exactly.
The 2010 way.
Fortunately they were very gracious, and it was a weird. What's the word? I don't know, but my account needed.
Just of course, you can create these games from scratch, Jools, but you can't send this video through this freaking portal.
Whatever the word is.
Oh my gosh, log in or it can't.
But anyway, they finally came back, and they had a few things to change.
Thank
so
God.
I changed it, sent it again, came back, boom, got out. So that was fantastic, and I was really, it was amazing. Because again, I don't know. They said, it's going to go off at 9 o'clock, California time on Wednesday. They send me a link, but it doesn't work until that time. So it's like, well, great, I have the link, but I can't
refresh.
And whether it happens at 9 or not, I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Will they tweet it out? I don't know. So do I need to copy and paste it and do it myself? Do I need to retweet their tweet? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I'm just sitting there.
All the things, nobody's ever thinking of this except you in that
horrible.
seat. Oh my gosh.
I'm sitting there like, I don't know. I know, yeah, exactly. Refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, it came up. Great. Go over to the Twitter account. Oh, shoot. Awesome. They tweeted it. Fucking A.
Yeah.
I mean, they tweeted it at that time, which I didn't know if they would, because sometimes they do every 3 hours. Or they're a big company. They have 6 million followers on their Twitter account. So
I've heard
of
of
them.
them.
What they're going to do. So, yeah, boom. They tweet it right there at 9. Like, retweet. Boom.
Love it.
And I was like, awesome. So anyway, that's part of what I was going through on that.
So it goes out and you're elated. Like you're like, this worked out.
Yeah.
It could have gone in a whole bunch of different ways, and this worked out.
It could have gone a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And everything came together nicely.
Is this different, the excitement? So I'm assuming excitement is coming your way. Is it in a different light than what you were experiencing with Chicken Wiggle? Is it bigger, different? Like,
it is bigger.
Yeah.
Much bigger. Well, you know what? And some of it is Mudds, and some of it is Switch. A lot of it is Switch.
Yep.
To be honest. Even when I tweeted out that photo of Mudds running on my Switch, on my front porch, got like 1,000 retweets in no time.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Didn't you? It seemed like you invented that. Or I don't know if it was, it's like, because it was right after that we started to see a whole bunch of indie developers going like, me too. This is my game running on this thing.
I mean, I don't think I coined it, but yeah, I was kind of in the middle of it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I mean, I think, it's just a fun thing.
Anybody who does it owes you a nickel.
Running on the hardware. Yeah. But I was just in the mix of everyone doing that. I mean, I think it was the same. I did it slightly after what's it called? Super Meat Boy.
Meat Boy. I was mud on the tip of my tongue.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
it's funny because actually I'd taken the photo weeks ago before I'd actually shared it.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, but then they did their thing, and I was already kind of thinking I need to kind of send this out at some point. When's the right time? And I saw them do their thing, and I'm like, I know it's kind of cheeky, but I should do mine today as well.
Done.
Because Super Meat Boy's pretty big. Switch is the new hot.
Mm-hmm.
Mudds is pretty cool. Let's jump into this pool.
You know what though? People connect with that though. It's the whole like the indies all holding hands and they're all in it together. They're in on the joke kind of thing, and that's cool. So I don't think anybody's really stealing ideas from anybody in that sense. It's that we're all the same. Like we're all, I don't know. It just creates this like cool sense of community, and and the gamers are in on the joke. They're in on that.
Yeah. And it worked. You know, thankfully. I mean, there was a bunch of news stories that said, hey, Super Meat Boy and Mutant Mudds, or sometimes Mutant Mudds and Super Meat Boy are coming to the Switch.
Yep.
You know, like, they had news headlines with both games together.
And it amplifies both messages.
Exactly. And if I hadn't sent out that photo that day, that wouldn't have happened. You know, maybe if I'd done it at some point, would there have been headlines of just about Mudds? Maybe. Mm-hmm. But probably less than they got. So, you know, you have to do what you do.
I'm excited for you.
So when we actually announced.
Do you have a date? So obviously things have to happen. Like if you could just plop it down on a date, things else, like you're in full control. Yeah, really? At this point.
That's all I can say is before Christmas. Yeah, I mean, because we're going to submit it in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
It could take a month for them to approve it, and then we can release it, you know, a week or two after that.
Yeah.
You know, so if we submit it in the middle of October, which we're hoping to, you know, it might be ready to release maybe in the middle of November.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is that better?
And if we can, I would like to release it around Thanksgiving. I think that'd be fantastic.
I freaking love American Thanksgiving. Like I take the day off, I watch some football, I hang out, drink some beer.
It's a great time to buy.
You guys do it right, and it's great for games. Yeah,
it's a great time.
Tell me, man.
It's always on a Thursday.
Yep.
eShop day. So, you know, I would love to release it on that day, you know, but, you know, Zero Drifter came out, I think it was December 11th or something, whenever that came out, and that worked out pretty good.
Nice.
So, honestly, just as long as it's before Christmas, as long as it's year, that'd be great. That'd be great. You know, I touch wood, I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does slide into January, which I really hope it doesn't, that's not the end of the world. The original mods came out January 26th, you know.
Seemed to be all right.
January is a good time for digital games. You know, everyone has got their physical games for Christmas.
Yep.
They may have an eShop card or have some extra money, and they start looking for other stuff because they've finished playing whatever game.
Right. Or they just got the Switch for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So January, So
nice,
the first
man.
quarter of the year is usually good too. So it's all good. We have some pretty fun plans, planned out. We have not only the Mudds collection, the new hotness, but we have some other stuff. Obviously, with Treasure of course.
Treasure, yep.
Which is definitely going to be on Switch, and we're definitely not doing it on the 3DS anymore. I don't think anyone should be surprised by that, even though some people will be. Good lord. And that, I'm looking forward to get to the point where that is all I'm talking about is Treasure.
Treasure Nuts, yeah.
It's got to the point when I think I first announced it in 2013. Seriously, I think it was that long ago. So stupid. Such a mistake.
So what game are you announcing today that will come out in 2027? Do you have any other ideas that you just like to get out there? I guess the 3D platformer 2027.
There we go.
The 3D Mudds. Yep.
But no, we have a lot of Switch things planned out, and with Treasure Noughts, the plan is to go beyond Switch. It's not going to be Switch only. It'll be more than Switch.
Yep.
So we're going to get a few other platforms in there, so that'll be fun.
Nice, man.
And we have a few other games we have kicking around.
Look at all this.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things going on. So you're staying busy.
Good for you. I'm really excited. I can't wait to pick it up first day. I actually would like to buy it this time, please. That would be great.
If you insist, I'll let you.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I also would really like to get some stickers that work on Switch, but that don't peel the crap off of it. That's the one. I want a little smaller one though, or I could use one for my laptop here too. I want a little chicken wiggle over the Dell logo on my laptop. I think that would be sweet.
Well, I think I have those as well.
Yeah, I would like to purchase
Rodon Smith right there from
that
Treasure Noughts.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
see, this is usually what happens when I ask the tough questions. Like, hey, look at these stickers. And I go, ooh, Jools is showing me things. Chicken wiggle. I just freaking love it. Well, I can't wait. I'm just going to make things up right now. I can't wait for Chicken Wiggle to reappear on Switch. I'm sure that's a thing.
That'd be fun. I think that could work out well.
That would be awesome.
That ever happens.
Nice, man. Well, you know what? This is actually a pretty good place to wrap up at least the show.
I think we continue doing the show for another 2 hours.
You think so? Maybe say hi to
the people want.
That's right. If anything I know about podcasts is they like to see a file pop up on their phone and see
3 hours
7.5 hours.
Yeah,
I'm in. Yes, please sign me up. Totally. That sounds awesome. Dude, thank you so much, Jools, for your time. I always love just...
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Freaking talking about ports and Halloween and scary movies and scary games and Chicken Wiggle and all this stuff. It's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
That's it. That's a bonus episode. Thanks to you at patreon.com/makeusbetter. We're doing this over again. We're going to have a second recurring guest. I haven't even booked it yet, but I wanted to say that originally, I not to slate Jools at all, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Seamus Mullins, the very first guest of this show ever. This show, not only do we not get to Patreon, this show doesn't happen without Seamus. I will always remember you reaching out on the Kind of Funny group and making sure that this thing got started. So I want to give Seamus, we'll work it out and make sure that you are one of these recurring guests. And I just wanted to make sure I of course couldn't forget, but I want to let you know that I did not forget. Thank you guys for listening. If you're on the youtube.com/WeTheNerdy, make sure to hit subscribe. There's more of this. I'll be doing more Let's Plays. I should be doing some stuff with Forza, maybe some comparisons. I wanted to see Forza 6 versus Forza 7. I've got some stuff right now. Maybe by the time you hear this, maybe it's up already, but I wanted to kind of do same car, same track, same daytime, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. Give the thumbs up, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and all of this stuff you can find on Me the Nerdy, We the Nerdy. Share, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. The show is at We the Gamercast, the website, We the Nerdy. Remember, I do 2 other shows, totally different, which I love. Every time I jump into these things, it's very different. If We Ran Nintendo with my boy, Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo Guru himself. That's on youtube.com/Nintendo Guru. And I do a show all about Xbox that I record while I drive to work. It's called the Xbox Drive. That's on DaceSpace. And so are all these other shows, by the way. DaceSpace. It's powered by DaceSpace. It's on iTunes and Google Play and all that other stuff. You guys know the drill. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray and Adam Leonard. Our video producer, Adam. No, your name is not Adam. Antonio. I actually speak into a microphone and still mess this stuff up. Antonio Guillen. Switch Talk. High five, buddy. Powered by the DaceSpace, of course, network of podcasts. You can find other shows like Nintendo Nostalgia, Topic Nintendo, Warp Whistle Podcast, so many other things. Guys, otherwise, this is episode 107. If you're a long-time listener, you're really looking forward to this. It's now in your ears and your eyeballs. Thank you again for listening. I will be back on Monday, just a couple days, very shortly, with our regularly scheduled programs. But now, my face is tired.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your damn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec. Not how he died. I pulled those logs. What happened with Pathfinder?